Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Neha Milani.
Thank you, Asad, for having me.
Okay, so the first thing that I want to mention is that you've done your MDS in Prosthodontics and Oral Implantology.
That's right.
That is quite specific, right? So I've always wondered what caused you to gravitate towards this particular field out of all the medical sciences, and not only all the medical sciences, you could have done anything that you wanted in life, right? Why did you choose this particular field and this specialization?
So I think for me, dentistry was a very random choice back then when I had to decide what I had to, choose as my career option. It was a very specific mentality amongst the Indian parents. You know, if you're an A grader, you end up choosing science as your stream after 10th. And then if you do well in 12th, you'll either do medicine or you'll do engineering. So engineering was definitely not my cup of tea, not a technical person at all. So that left me with medicine, and I'm very creative. So a lot of people told me that dentistry will give you that, that platform to use your creativity. At the same time, it's a profession in the medical field. So that's how I gravitated towards dentistry. And then once I did my graduation, post-graduation was never an option. It has to be done. I mean, today is an age of not just specialty, but super specialty. So I always wanted to do my master's, and that's how I ended up doing my master's in prosthodontics, because it's a very just to mention here, like, when you go to a doctor, you're very specific. I want to see a physician, or I want to see an ENT, or I want to see a cardiologist. But not until maybe just a few years back that awareness amongst the masses about that, in dentistry also there is a specialization. Like if you have a gum issue, you'll go to someone who's a gum specialist. If you have a bite issue, you go to someone known as a prosthodontist, which is my specialty. Or if you want to do something called a smile designing, you have to come to a prosthodontist. So I was very interested in everything that my specialty offers, and that's how I ended up choosing prosthodontics.
You're right, because I think the Indian market is still not that sensitive towards dentistry in general. In fact, I'd like to mention something, that digestion does not begin from the stomach, and in fact begins from the mouth. And a lot of issues or general diseases that are caused are mostly because of not chewing your food properly, or due to cavities or gum problems. I think you will be able to elaborate on those better. So what I want to ask is, in your specific field of dentistry, like you mentioned, there's bite correction and there's gum problems. So what is it that you do exactly?
So prosthodontics basically involves like prosthesis, new set of teeth. So that begins with someone who has no teeth and say wants a set of dentures that are removable, or something even like better than the regular dentures that we had earlier, which is implant supported dentures. It also involves smile designing, the Hollywood and Bollywood smiles that you see in celebrities. It's something that is not, an option available only to celebrities, and it's not a luxury. It's become like everyone who's concerned about the way they look. We're so concerned about the way our skin is. We're so concerned about the way our hair is, but why not our teeth, right? Because a smile adds to the overall look of our face. So, smile designing has so many options. Then a lot of people have a lot of worn out teeth or have missing teeth, which causes alignment issues. So again, something called as full mouth rehabilitation, that comes under my specialty. So these are some of the main areas that we cover in prosthodontics and oral implantology, and of course any set of missing teeth that has to be replaced.
So I think the misconception again with the Indian market is that this specialization of dentistry that you're in is a lot to do with aesthetics, right? But firstly, like you mentioned, it's become more affordable and accessible, firstly.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think aesthetics and functionality in dentistry go hand in hand, because if you have crooked teeth, you will not be able to chew properly. Yeah, could you elaborate on that?
You can't clean properly, you can't chew properly. So you have to aesthetic, like you correctly mentioned. There's no point of aesthetics without function, and just function and not aesthetics is not a complete package. So they both go extremely hand in hand, and that's why we call it bioaesthetics.